The Wolverine Sports Network is on the air.
He's going to keep the football. Drive for the goal line. It's a touchdown! The Wolverines have won it on the final play of the game. Touchdown East. A Wolverine walk-off winner.
Ostrowski, the righty, winds and deals. Strike three! It's a perfect game! Tate Ostrowski has thrown a perfect game for the Wolverines.
Piper back to throw. Has time. Looking for the end zone, and what is it called? Touchdown! It is a touchdown for the Wolverines with 7 seconds to play.
Grove City has won the President's Athletic Conference Championship. Grove City wins the PAC. The Cinderella story is alive.
Piper takes the snap. Looking to throw. Fires downfield. Frazier made the catch and scored the touchdown to win it for the Wolverines.
And a very pleasant good morning to you. Baseball for breakfast. Today it's the second day of the Mount Union Regional in the NCAA Division III baseball tournament. Today the Grove City Wolverines take on Mount Union in an elimination game, the first of 2 games for one of these teams. The winner will advance to play in the late game today at 3:30. The losing team will put away the equipment until next fall. Good morning, everybody. Ryan Briggs here along with Mark Means. We are back here at Rayfeld Rogers Field in Alliance, Ohio. And Mark, obviously it's going to be an historic day for one of these programs. Grove City Mount Union, it is the second all-time NCAA tournament appearance for each squad. Both programs looking for that first NCAA tournament win. Somebody's going to get that win and advance to the 3:30 game today. Should be a lot of fun. Season's on the line for 2 very good teams that have had historic seasons.
Absolutely. It's an early morning for baseball, and again, a beautiful day. Much cooler than what we experienced for the first game at 10 o'clock yesterday. But it is, as you said, a day where history will be made for one of these 2 schools. Grove City coming up short in the first game against Rowan, 9-1 yesterday. Mount Union, in a thriller that you got a chance to call, came up short by 1 run at the end of the game, 11-10.
Yeah, really the thing that stood out the most in comparing the games, and you obviously have a 9-1 game and an 11-10 game, you're thinking, well, probably not a whole lot in common, but really I think what we saw with Rowan, of course, the top seed against Grove City, Rowan getting key hits with runners on base. In the second game, Catholic and Mount Union, which was back and forth, Catholic went up 5-0. Mount Union tied it at 5, went up 6-5. And then it was a 6-6 game going to the 9th. Catholic scored 5 in the top of the 9th. Mount Union gets 4, ends up 11-10. But both of those teams got the key hit or hits with runners on base. That's something that Grove City did not do yesterday, leaving 2 on in the first inning, leaving the bases loaded without scoring in the third. Overall, Grove City leaving on 9 men yesterday. The Wolverines, you think maybe get a hit or 2 early. Maybe you never have, like, Rowan's an outstanding team. You never know things are going to be different per se, but you're able to, maybe put a little pressure on Rowan. So obviously, if Grove City, is going to stay alive in this tournament, the Wolverines have to do a better job of hitting with men on base. And if you're Mount Union, keep doing what you're doing offensively. A very good offensive team that put up 10 runs yesterday.
It comes to the question for Grove City, what does the approach become offensively? Are you aggressive? We saw Rowan throwing a lot of first pitch fastballs. Do you attack early in the count, or do you want to be patient, work that count, get into a hitter's advantage, run up the pitch count, but also get yourself some better pitches to try to take a swing at?
Should be a lot of fun here this morning. Grove City and Mount Union. The teams have played off and on over the years down in Florida. They've crossed paths, Grove City winning the most recent one a couple of years ago down in Florida. Mount Union, of course, the regular season champs of the Ohio Athletic Conference and the host of this 4-team regional. Grove City winning the President's Athletic Conference for the first time in 17 years. Should be a lot of fun. These regional rivals as well, both in Region 7 in NCAA Division III. That's essentially the old Mid-East region. And 2 coaches have been doing it for a long time. Paul Hesse, year number 28 at Mount Union. Matt Royer, it's his 10th year at Grove City, but he's been coaching baseball for 40-plus years, got his 700th win. 2 coaches that they're not going to be surprised by anything that happens today.
No, absolutely not. That's one of the coaches who, they have a game plan, and then the game plan has a backup, and that backup has another backup in case something may not go their way. They have plans laid out. If they needed to go to the bullpen early, it's going to be this. If they have a chance to get some innings from their starter, then who do they go to? And who is fresh and who is ready to go after throwing some innings in yesterday's games.
Speaking of pitching, we will talk about the starting pitchers when we come back. Mark will have the numbers on today's starters, the starting lineups, and more. We'll also take a look at yesterday's scoreboard. There was action that actually finished up this morning. Yes, literally this morning. We'll talk about that also. An interesting thing that, to an extent, is of interest to what's going on here in Alliance. We'll have more of that as our pregame continues. First pitch coming up at the bottom of the hour here from Alliance, Ohio. You're listening to the Mount Union Regional on your home for the NCAA Division III tournament.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies.
That's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? Oh, more ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better.
Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is the news. This morning, we are saluting the 2.2 million women who have joined in the war effort. They now make up 37% of the workforce, changing their role forever.
The prestigious Harvard Medical School is breaking ground today, opening its doors to new female applicants.
Today, little girls all over the world look to the sky, where the first woman is now in space.
Military stereotypes are challenged today with the trailblazing promotion of a U.S. female officer to 4-star general. It was just announced that the vast majority of last year's doctorate degrees were earned by women.
We've come so far, but our news is changing for the worse. More women die from heart disease and stroke than men, even though it can be prevented. Make a change at GoRedForWomen.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women.
Chris, can you put the video game controller down for a second?
I can talk and play. Oh, I'm totally annihilating this punk kid in Nebraska.
I just feel like you're not acting like a grown-up in our relationship.
Am too.
Well, you still ride your skateboard to work, there's the comic book collection, the race car bed.
Look, I'm young at heart, but I put money into my 401k every paycheck. I picked up a few savings tips at feedthepig.org. I have control over my financial life now, and that feels pretty grown up.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. For free ideas and easy tips on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
So, I bet I look like a grown-up to you now.
Well, except for the footy pajamas, I'd have to agree.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Alliance, Ohio. They're playing another one, Bites the Dust, in the pregame mix. And somebody's going to bite the dust in this elimination game, Grove City and Mount Union. Before we get to the starting pitching matchup, and Mark will have the numbers on our respective hurlers, this is the first game to start today in the NCAA tournament. There are a couple of other 8:30 games, but not the first one to be played this morning in the Eastern time zone. As we alluded to yesterday, the winner of this regional will take on the winner of the Lynchburg Regional. Well, the Lynchburg Regional had an unusual beginning yesterday. They played the first game at 9 a.m. Second game was scheduled for 8 p.m. because of some weather and so forth. Well, Lynchburg taking on Marymount. And they moved it to Liberty University, which is across town. Liberty had a game against Dallas Baptist, and it was, I believe, a 4 o'clock start or whatever. They had rain, and Ends up, that game didn't start till late, and then it went 10 innings. Lynchburg and Marymount started the game last night at 11:04 p.m. Then the game itself took 3 hours and 6 minutes, which means they finished up a little over 6 hours ago, 2:10 in the morning. How would you like to be on that one, Mark?
You know what, like I said when we were talking about this off the air, I would rather start at 8:30 than end at 2:30 in the morning any day.
One thing, I know you remember it and I remember it, and some of our older listeners would remember it. The American League used to have a 1 a.m. curfew. That they could not start an inning after 1 a.m. in the American League. That went out, I think, in the mid-'90s, for better or worse, but it was kind of just one of those things. The American League had it, the National League didn't. But and apparently no curfew in Lynchburg, Virginia. We will not have to worry about a curfew with this one, as we will get started at 8:30. Mark, we have a very intriguing pitching matchup today. A couple of Western Pennsylvania guys on the hill for Grove City and Mount Union.
It's Bryce Trischler will get the start, the Shadyside Academy high schooler from Mars. The sophomore left-hander will make his 14th appearance. It'll be his 10th start. He's 6-2 with a 3.39 earned run average. He does have 3 complete games on the year. He also has 3 saves on the year. He's worked 71 in 2/3 inning, giving up 56 hits, 34 runs. 27 of those were earned. He has walked 21, struck out 49. The opposition hitting .213 against him on the season so far.
And his last time out was in the PAC tournament last Friday night, 8 days ago, against W&J. And it was a situation where it was an elimination game for W&J, not for Grove City. Wolverines were 2-0, W&J 1-1. Trischler went all 10 innings in a 4-1 victory. Only run he gave up was an 8th-inning solo home run to Jacob LaDuca, the outstanding shortstop for Mount Union. But he went the route, as the headline said on the website, the Bryce is right. Wolverines are hoping that's the case again today, but the Wolverine lineup will be facing a tough customer on the Mount Union side.
Grad student right-hander Jared Lehman from Monroeville, Pennsylvania Gateway High School gets the start. It will be his 8th start of the season. He's 3-1 with a 2.97 earned run average. He's worked 33 in the 3rd innings. He has given up 37 hits in those 33 in the 3rd innings, 21 runs, only 11 of those were earned. He's walked 12, struck out 29. The opposition batting .270 against him. He has thrown a couple of wild pitches, and he has hit 3 batters on the season.
And this will be his first appearance since April 27th. He pitched against Teal, getting the win in a 12-2 Mount Union win, went 5 2/3, did not give up an earned run. And he has won each of his last 3 decisions. Made a couple of starts in OAC play. Got a win at John Carroll, a no decision at Marietta, in which he gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. So he's certainly a guy that he's going to be fresh, no doubt, as is Trischler. It's been 8 days since he pitched, but curious to see how how Lehman does. We saw him at first base yesterday in the game against Catholic, and grad student with the season on the line, taking the hill for Paul Hesse's team.
You can only throw so much on the side, and it's one of those now facing a batter, live competition. You wonder, control could be an issue early that he'll have to work his way through.
Although he's one of those guys, and we saw him yesterday. He's a gamer. He's no matter what, he's going to figure out a way to keep his team in it, even if he doesn't have his best stuff. But over his career 10-5 record, 26 appearances, 23 of those starts, and he will make start number 24 today for Mount Union. He'll also be in the batting order in the pitcher/DH spot. We will give you the starting lineups when we come back. Grove City and Mount Union in an elimination game at the Mount Union Regional. We'll have more after this quick timeout on your home for the NCAA Division III tournament.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, tail-wagging, backyard-hanging, and, of course, companionship.
And what breed would you say Satchmo is?
I'd have to go with maybe a lavish terrier-hound chihuahua-looking kind of mix.
Tremendous dog.
I'd also like to point out Satchmo's coloring, a white, gray, brown, black brindle, simply marvelous.
You know, it's such a treat to watch a dog like this.
Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive. And now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance, so common with this group.
And finally, the loving face lick.
It's great how he just gets in there and, well, licks.
Fantastic. But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one. Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Welcome back to Mount Union. Time now for the starting lineups. First for Grove City, which is the visiting team here in Game 3. Leading off will be the third baseman, Sam Bevan. Nick Sampson will play center field and bat second. Colin Marin-Petro, the first baseman, hits third. Josh Minnick, the cleanup man, will play right field. Sam Meredith, the shortstop, hits fifth. Luke Vitone at second base, batting sixth. Callan Durbin will DH and bat seventh. Andrew Seast in left field hits eighth. Sam DeStefano will catch and bat ninth. Bevan, Sampson, Marin-Petro, Minnick, Meredith, Vitone, Durbin, Seast, and DeStefano. For Mount Union, leading off at third base will be Chris Viamonte. Andrew Whitty at second base will hit second. Alex Stegman, the shortstop, bats third. Chris DeSource, the right fielder, bats fourth. Jared Lehman will pitch and bat fifth. Daniel Tome III is the catcher. He bats sixth. Luke Ickes in left field bats seventh. Johnny Costello, who was the DH yesterday, will play first base and bat eighth. Bryson Fox in center field, batting ninth. Viamonte, Whitty, Stegman, DeSource, Lehman, Tome, Ickes, Costello, and Fox. First pitch comes up next on your home for the NCAA tournament.
Now, at this time, if able, please stand and remove your hats for the playing of today's national anthem.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, tail-wagging, backyard-hanging, and, of course, companionship.
And what breed would you say Satchmo is?
I'd have to go with maybe a lavish terrier-hound chihuahua-looking kind of mix.
Tremendous dog.
I'd also like to point out Satchmo's coloring, a white, gray, brown, black brindle, simply marvelous.
You know, it's such a treat to watch a dog like this.
Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive. And now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance, so common with this group.
And finally, the loving face lick.
It's great how he just gets in there and, well, licks.
Fantastic. But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Jared Lehman completing his warm-up pitches for Mount Union. The Purple Raiders are the home team here. They are in the home whites with purple numbers and letters, purple and black trim. Grove City, the road team in the black jerseys today, red numbers and letters outlined in white, gray pants, and black caps for the Wolverines. The black jerseys, they wore them last Saturday and when winning the PAC title and hoping that they bring them some more luck today. New threads this year for the Wolverines, the black jerseys to go with the red ones they wore yesterday, and the whites and the grays as well. Mount Union in the traditional home whites. Winner of this game will play at 3:30 against the losing team from the noon game, Catholic or Rowan. The winner of that game is going to be in the winner's bracket final, or excuse me, the championship game tomorrow. And the winner of this one will stay alive and play the 3:30 game later today here in Alliance. Glad you could join us on this Saturday morning, wherever you are watching or listening. Nate Larisha and his great crew here in the press box have things ready to roll. Temperature in the mid-60s. Mix of clouds and sun, but as Mark said, considerably cooler today, a much fresher day. The storm system has moved through. Sam Bevan will lead off for Grove City. Bevan, he had 3 of the Wolverines' 5 hits yesterday. Righty batter facing the righty Lehman. Working in the middle of the rubber, and Lehman's first pitch is cut on and missed. We are underway in this elimination game, getting underway at 8:29 a.m. Next one is a little bit low, and the count is 1-1 on Sam Bevan. Bevan hitting .371 this year, team leading 7 home runs, 43 runs batted in. The 1-1 misses a bit out of the zone. And the count 2-1 on Bevan. Bevan also an even 100 total bases on the season now. 2-1 inside, 3-1. Jared Lehman out of Gateway High School, just east of Pittsburgh in Monroeville. The 3-1 is high, and it's a leadoff walk to Sam Bevan. Bevan led off yesterday's game against Rowan with a base hit. Wolverines had a lot of traffic early on, couldn't cash in. They will look to change that narrative today. Nick Sampson will stand in. Sampson, the Wolverines center fielder, 0 for 4 in the tournament. Sampson now hitting .317 on the season. School record 53 runs scored in 2025. Bevan held on by Costella at first. And Lehman's first pitch is high for a ball. So for the first 5 out of the zone, Mark, not missing by a lot, but maybe not quite dialed in as he was hoping for.
Just missing out of the zone here early on.
And that one misses by a whisker. 2-0 on Nick Sampson.
You mentioned he hasn't made a start in a while, so this is his first action trying to get settled in here early.
And the fact too, it's 8:30 in the 8:30 in the morning, an elimination game. A lot of things, a lot of additional factors. Working out of the set, the 2-0. That's a strike down the middle. 2-1 on Sampson, to be followed by Colin Marin-Petro. Breeze picking up, blowing in from right. 2-1, driven out towards right. Christosaurus on the run, and he will make the catch in fair territory, crosses into foul territory, ran a long way, and that is the first out of the morning, excuse me. Sampson retired on a fly ball to right. 1 down for Colin Marin-Petro, the Wolverine first baseman, .416 average, 3 home runs, and 45 runs batted in. One of 2 lefty batters in the Grove City order, he and the DH Callan Durbin, who's in the 7th spot. Wind really picking up. You can no doubt hear in our crowd mic. Toss over to first, and Bevan back easily. Tome doing the catching, Costella at first. The rest of the defense unchanged from yesterday. Whitty at second, Viamonte at third, Stegman at short, Ickes, Fox, and Tesaurus left to right in the Mount Union outfield. Lehman's first pitch to Marin-Petro bounces in for a ball, 1-0.
We talked about it yesterday. Marin-Petro really crowds the box. He's in tight towards the plate with the back foot right on the back line.
Now Marin-Petro needing a moment to adjust the shin guard on his front leg. 6'5" junior out of West Allegheny High School. The 1-0 from Lehman fouled straight back. It is 1-1. The dimensions here at Rayfield Rogers Field: 335 to left, 390 to left center, 395 to straightaway, 370 in right center, 340 down the right field line, but it does come in some in right center with a higher fence. Lehman set at the belt, the 1-1. Chopper on the right side. Woody, the second baseman, will throw to the shortstop covering the bag, and there to receive it is Stegman for out number 2. Bevan erased 4-6 on the fielder's choice.
23, Josh Minnick.
And that'll bring up Josh Minnick, the right fielder. Minnick, .355 average this year, 4 home runs and 49 runs batted in, leads the team in RBIs. So Lehman, after leadoff walk, has retired 2 in a row. Righty deals, and that one misses a bit low. 1-0 on Josh Minnick, Grove City's all-time leader in runs batted in. He was on base 3 times yesterday, 0 for 1 officially, twice hit by a pitch, also walked yesterday. The 1-0, swing and a miss by Minnick, late on that one, now 1-1. Marin Petro held on at first by Costella. 1-1 inside, 2-1. In the home half of the first, Mount Union will have Viamonte, Woody, and Stegman due up against left-hander Bryce Trischler for Grove City. 2 balls and a strike. Lehman deals. That one misses inside. 3-1 now on Josh Minnick. Minnick, all-region selection last year. 2-time first-team All-Presidents Athletic Conference. Certainly named going to be in the ringer for all-region consideration again this year, you'd have to think. 3-1 is bounced to Viamonte over at third. From his back foot throws and safe with a head-first dive at first. Viamonte robbed Minnick of extra bases. It will be an infield hit, but nice play over at third to limit the damage.
Sam Meredith.
So Minnick with the infield hit, first hit of the morning for Grove City. And that will bring up Sam Meredith. Meredith hitting .347 this year. In the first offering, just misses from Lehman, ball 1. Meredith yesterday 1 for 4, had an 8th inning single in yesterday's game against Rowan. The 1-0 misses, throw back down to first. Costello cutting in behind Minnick, but he's back in safely. Count is 2-0. Marin Petro out at second. Okay speed, not what you'd call a burner, certainly. Lehman is 2-0. This one's driven out to center. Fox on the run, and then coming into the gap in right center to make the catch is Tesauris. As that one sliced towards him, and that will end the inning for Grove City. The Wolverines, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We've played a half inning in game number 3 at the Mount Union Regional. It's Grove City 0, Mount Union coming to bat on your home for the NCAA tournament.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Sophomore left-hander Bryce Trischler concluding his warm-up pitches for Grove City. Wolverines left 2 men on in the top of the first, and now we get our first look at Mount Union. It'll be Chris Viamonte leading off. Viamonte went 2 for 5 with a run batted in yesterday. Viamonte, the average now 264, no home runs, and 26 runs batted in this season. Right-hand hitting leadoff man facing the Wolverines southpaw. And Trischler's first pitch is an off-speed pitch that misses for ball 1. Trischler, a breakout sophomore season. His 1-0 is sliced foul down the right field line. Trischler last year marked 1 varsity inning.
Wow, that is a big jump.
Now here he is pitching in the second game of the NCAA tournament. 1-1, a little high, 2-1 on Viamonte. Trischler named honorable mention All-PAC this year. Head coach Matt Royer was hoping that he would be on second team, but a lot of good pitchers in the President's Athletic Conference. 2-1 is popped up behind the plate. Catcher Sam DiStefano ditches the mask and then cannot make the catch. He did not come particularly close to making the catch, so it just goes as a foul ball. Again, fighting the early morning high sun and the wind. And Viamonte has new life. The count 2-2 now on Viamonte. And this one's punched to right. It's a base hit, so Viamonte takes advantage of the second opportunity, takes a wide turnaround first. He has a leadoff single to begin the game for the Purple Raiders. That'll bring up Andrew Whitty. Whitty hitting .336 this year, no home runs, and 34 runs batted in. He officially was 0 for 2 yesterday with a couple of runs batted in, a run scored, and 2 walks. Had a sacrifice fly as well. Trischler's first pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 to Whitty.
If you weren't with us yesterday, not only is there a lot of foul territory in this ballpark, but we are mixed in a residential neighborhood.
0-1 just misses 1-1. We are on the first base side here. We are above the Mount Union dugout. Of course, it's the home dugout. Grove City on the third base side. Ball and a strike. Trischler set at the belt, checks the runner Viamonte. This one is skied behind first base. Luke Vitone out on the outfield grass, makes the catch in fair territory for out number 1. Out number 1, that'll bring up Alex Stegman, the Mount Union shortstop. Stegman, .365 average, 3 home runs, and 38 runs batted in. Stegman, 0 for 5 yesterday. Did have a stolen base. Lefty batter facing the left-handed pitcher Trischler. And the bunt pushed up the third base line. Bevan, barehand grab, throw over to first, safe. The bunt single by Stegman. Bevan playing back, Stegman, a good bunt. And good speed getting down the line. He has his first hit of the tournament. First and second now for Chris Tesaurus, the right fielder. Tesaurus, who hit that 3-run blast in the 9th inning yesterday, his 11th round tripper of the season. He's now hitting 344 with 52 runs batted in. Facing the lefty Trischler. First pitch, swing and a miss. Tesaurus was trying to make it 3-0 with that swing.
He swung so hard, his equipment came off his wrist on that swing. He had to step out for a quick second and readjust.
Count is 0-1. Tesaurus waiting the pitch. This one fouled straight back. He does not get cheated on his cuts.
No, he is very aggressive at the plate. He is going up there to swing the bat. He's not there to walk.
He's walked a dozen times this year and struck out 44 times. Trischler ahead of him 0-2. Tesaurus, slightly open stance. Trischler checks the runners. Now he steps off and chases Viamonte back to the bag. Viamonte at second had the leadoff single to right. Stegman a bunt single with 1 out. He's the trail runner at first. Trishler's 0-2. The runners are on the move. Pitch is high, and it's going to be a double steal. So Rowan have success in the running game yesterday against Grove City. Mount Union putting the runners in motion. Viamonte takes third. Stegman takes second. Now 2 men in scoring position for one of the top run producers in the region, Christosaurus. Wolverine infield is back. 1-2, skied to left. Andrew Seast going back. Makes the catch, runner's tag. Viamonte will score. Stegman goes to third. It is a sacrifice fly for Christosaurus, his 53rd run batted in of the season, and Mount Union is on top 1-0.
Taking advantage of the double steal. You get the sacrifice to drive home the first run. You go back to the double steal. I think right decision to hold on to that baseball and not force a throw when he turned to look where the runners were. Best to hold that baseball and not force a throw that might have gotten away.
That'll bring up Jared Lehman, the starting pitcher and DH, should he leave them out. He takes ball one from Trishler. Lehman, team high 378 average, 6 home runs, 44 runs batted in, 16 doubles for Lehman. The 1-0, breaking ball in for a strike, and something we don't get to say a whole lot in baseball anymore, a chance to help his own cause at the plate.
Not much anymore at all, but the numbers he's put up, he deserves to get his at-bats.
Started at first base yesterday. The 1-1 from Trishler. That one just misses. 2-1 now on Lehman. Mount Union on top 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Viamonte, the leadoff single, and eventually scoring on Tesaurus' sac fly to left. Stegman's at third with 2 down. The 2-1 from Trishler. Pop foul out of play, and it's 2-2.
Feel both teams just kind of settling in. I don't know if anybody's played an 8:30 a.m. game on the schedule this year.
Perhaps in Florida, occasionally, on getaway day, or you could maybe get one of those. The 2-2 is high, 3-2. They are few and far between, certainly. Count now 3-2 on Lehman, with Daniel Tome III waiting on deck. Trishler set at the belt. Payoff pitch from the big lefty. Foul on the first base side, and that lands on top of us on the press box. And the count remains 3-2. Of course, certainly looming the fact that Grove City did not catch a foul pop earlier this inning. They did not charge an error on the play, but certainly a play that could have been made. Mount Union taking advantage of it. The 3-2. Misses a bit high. It's a 2-out walk to Lehman. Runners on the corners now for Daniel Tome III, the catcher. Tome, 372 average this year, no home runs, 22 runs batted in, and Grove City skipper Matt Royer will come out of the third base dugout and have a chat with the infield. Some games underway across the country. Oswego State leading Bridgewater State early on 2-0. They're at Bridgewater State in Massachusetts. North Central and Center, they're playing up the road in Cleveland at Case Western Reserve. That was an 8:30 start as well. We'll see if we can get an update on that. Johnson and Wales and Ramapo are scoreless. Brockport and Randolph-Macon are scoreless. Randolph-Macon was in the College World Series last year and now trying to keep its season alive at 8:30 in the morning at home. That's certainly quite a turnaround. Chicago and Beloit will get underway at 9:30 Eastern. It's an 8:30 local time out in Minnesota. The games throughout the day and evening across the country. First and third, 2 down for Tome, who went 2 for 4 with a run scored and a run batted in yesterday. Left-handed hitting catcher. And that one misses for a ball, 1-0.
You saw the early trip there. It's one of those where in an elimination game, decisions much more magnified. How long do you leave the starter in? What do you do?
1-0 to Tome, high, 2-0. Trishler now 20 pitches so far. Lehman had to work in the first inning, but Lehman was able to work out of trouble without giving up a run, and whereas Mount Union has been able to put one on the board here in the first. 2-0 from Trishler. Tome drives this one to left. Ceased coming towards the line, makes the catch to end the inning. Mount Union takes the lead, however. The Purple Raiders get a run. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. 1 inning complete in this elimination game in Alliance, Ohio. Mount Union on top of Grove City, 1-0 on your home for the NCAA Division III tournament.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? When a tornado is tearing through town? Or a hurricane strikes? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. And it's not always as simple as using your cell phone. That's why now is the time to take action. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Top of the second, about to get underway here at Rayfield Rogers Field in Alliance, Ohio. Mount Union, the home team, leading Grove City 1-0, along with Mark Means, Ryan Briggs. Hope you're enjoying this one. Saturday morning game, first of 3 today here in Alliance. The second game, the winners bracket game, Rowan and Catholic. And then the 3:30 game, the winner of this one will play the loser of the noon game later on. So whoever wins this one will have some time to get something to eat and rest and maybe change jerseys and get back at it. And whoever comes out on the short end will head home. Luke Vitone will lead off for Grove City, the Wolverines' second baseman. The first pitch from Jared Lehman is a strike. Vitone hitting .308 this year, 6 home runs and 48 runs batted in. Grove City's all-time leader in runs, hits, total bases, and games played. He fouls off the 0-1. Count 0-2. Vitone 0 for 4 yesterday. A couple of strikeouts against Rowan ace Mike Shannon. Lehman out of the windup, the 0-2. That one misses now. 1-2 on Vitone out of Seven Fields, Pennsylvania, just north of Pittsburgh, near Cranberry Township. 1-2. High, now 2-2. Vitone. Lehman working quickly. 2-2, swing and a miss. Pump the fastball by Vitone. First strikeout of the morning for Lehman. 1 down for Callan Durbin, the DH. Durbin 0 for 4 yesterday against Rowan in the opener. Lefty batter, Durbin takes strike 1. And Lehman, after first couple batters, you can see him trying to get dialed in. He certainly is dialed in now, Mark.
Yeah, he definitely has found the zone here more in the second inning. As Mount Union, they've shifted their third baseman way off the line, closer toward the shortstop position.
Ball and a strike on Durbin. Viamonte, as Mark said, well off the line. Durbin late on that one. The count now a ball and 2 strikes. Lehman winds and deals. The 1-2 high, 2-2 on Durbin. Durbin has taken over as Grove City's primary DH down the stretch. Slightly open stance. May see him in an infield position next year, depending on how things shake out. 2-2. This one's driven out towards center, coming on, and Fox goes to the wet grass to make the catch. Bryson Fox showing that good speed and a great jump out there, Mark.
Bat sprinting towards the left field side. Outfield able to stretch out and hold on and make the play.
So Durbin retired for out number 2. 2 away for Andrew Cease, the Wolverine left fielder. Cease out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Checks his swing and takes ball 1. Cease 0 for 3 yesterday, reached on an error in the 7th. Lehman's 1-0, fastball in there for a strike. We should love hearing the ball popping in the mitt. It's such a great sound.
Yeah, that's the perfect baseball sound when you hear that glove pop with the fastball.
1-1 misses a little low. 2-1 now on Cease. Cease, the average .355 this year. Awaiting the 2-1. An awkward half swing. He stumbled and strike 2. It was he was certainly crossed up by that one. Lehman pumping the fastball by him. 2-2 on Cease. Lehman kicks and deals. Cease looks at strike 3. And a pair of strikeouts in the second inning for Jared Lehman. Grove City retired in order through 1.5. The Mount Union Regional. Mount Union leads Grove City 1-0 on your home for the NCAA Division III tournament.
Hey, is that a faucet running?
Nope, that's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest.
It is?
Yeah, forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. The water comes straight from the forest to us. In fact...
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
How do trees clean the air?
They soak up the dirty air on their leaves, branches, and trunks, which means clean air for us.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yep, but the forest does more than give us clean air and water. It gives us shade for hot days, birds to listen to, and trees to climb.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know how cool the forest could be. Hey, let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
It's the bottom of the second, and the bottom third of the Mount Union order do. Luke Ickes, Johnny Costella, and Bryson Fox. Mount Union with a 1-0 lead in this elimination game. Bryce Trischler, the left-hander for Grove City, back up on the mound, facing the left-hand hitting Luke Ickes. And Trischler's first pitch is a strike at the knees to Ickes, who comes into today hitting .360, 1 home run, and 32 runs batted in. And this one hit back through the middle, a base hit for Ickes. Leadoff single, second straight inning that Mount Union has a leadoff single. That'll bring up Johnny Costella. Costella, .303 average on the season, 1 home run, 19 runs batted in. He was a DH yesterday. Went 2 for 4 before being lifted for a pinch runner in the 9th inning. He helped get the 4-run rally going in the 9th with a leadoff single. He gets the bunt down, grabbed by Trischler. He looks at second, tosses over to first, threw a changeup over to Marin Petro, but it's in time. Costella retired 1-3 on the sacrifice, and is the 6th sack bunt of the season for Costella. Ickes goes to second, 1 away for Bryson Fox. Fox hitting .304, no home runs, 24 runs batted in, and officially 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored in the tournament. First pitch, swing and a miss by Fox. Ickes out at second, runs well. Third baseman Bevan, even with the bag. Marin Petro likewise at first. Fox, a very good bunter. Trischler deals. Swing and a miss, and Trischler now ahead of Fox 0-2. wind blew Bryce Trishler's cap off. Not something you see every day, but the wind has picked up. As more clouds have moved in. Can't rule out the chance of a pop-up shower today. 0-2, called strike 3. Fox shakes his head no, but he goes down looking. That's strike at the bottom of the zone. 2 down and back to the top of the order for Chris Viamonte, who singled, stole a base, and scored in the first. He scored on Tesouris' sacrifice fly. Of course, here at Mount Union, the infield all turf, the outfield natural grass. Trishler's first pitch to Viamonte, fouled back. 0-1 is high. 1-1 now on Viamonte. Viamonte 3 for 6 in the tournament. Ickes out at second, here with 2 away. Trishler gives him a look. The lefty deals. Popped up on the infield. Luke Vitone, the second baseman, says he has it. He'll make the two-handed grab to end the inning. A leadoff single, but that's it for Mount Union. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. Through 2 in Game 3 of the Mount Union Regional. The host Purple Raiders lead Grove City 1-0 on your home for the NCAA Division III tournament.
Hey, is that a faucet running?
Nope, that's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest.
It is?
Yeah, forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. The water comes straight from the forest to us. In fact...
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
How do trees clean the air?
They soak up the dirty air on their leaves, branches, and trunks, which means clean air for us.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yep, but the forest does more than give us clean air and water. It gives us shade for hot days, birds to listen to, and trees to climb.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know how cool the forest could be. Hey, let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We are back here in Alliance, Ohio. Ryan Briggs and Mark Means with you. Mark, 2 innings. Both pitchers seem to have settled down after being a little bit wobbly early on.
Right. The fact that neither one of them had made a start in a little while, and then the fact of the early start time and the pressure of an elimination game, and now both experienced starters seem to have settled in as we head towards the middle innings.
Mount Union with the lead 1-0. Jared Lehman making his first start since April 27th. He's 3-1 on the season. He's won his last 3 decisions. He'll face 9-1-2 in the Grove City order. Sam DiStefano, the catcher, leads off. He had a pinch hit appearance yesterday in the 9th, grounded out to second, and he hits a fister on the left side. Stegman fields it, throws over to first, and DiStefano beats it out. An unusual-looking play. That ball looked like it defied physics, Mark.
It did. The spin was not really natural. And then once it hit the artificial turf, took an extra reverse spin as the shortstop waited back on the ball that just never got to him.
And wondering, the turf may be a little bit damp or something too, but that was an unusual play. Stegman, we watched him yesterday and all season. Outstanding shortstop. That's just one of those fluky things that you just chalk up to being, that's baseball. And DiStefano, not your typical catcher when it comes to running either. He can move very well. Brings up Sam Bevan, who walked. He takes strike 1 from Lehman. Pitch on the way is low, 1-1.
And those are just some of the breaks you need to take advantage of when you get the opportunity, especially in a critical elimination game.
1-1. Viamonte, the third baseman, hugging the line close to the bag. Shortstop Stegman close to the second base bag. A lot of room on the left side for Bevan. The 1-1, low 2-1. The hole on the left side is what you'd expect on the right side with the first baseman holding on a runner.
Yeah, we saw Bevan go that way a little bit in his couple of hits yesterday.
Bevan 3 hits yesterday. This one's fouled out of play on the first base side. The count is 2-2 on Bevan. Bevan, 66 hits this year, second most in Grove City history. Colin Marin-Petro, who's a couple of batters away, has 67. That's the record for now. 2-2 called, strike three. Strike at the top of the zone. Bevan down looking. Third strikeout for Lehman and one away in the third.
Fielder number 3, Nick Sampson.
Brings up Sampson, Nick Sampson, who flew out to right in the first, looking for his first hit of the regional. He's 0 for 5 so far. DeStefano, 3 steals in 3 attempts this year. And the first pitch to Sampson fouled off. It's 0-1. DeStefano held on by Costello over at first. Sampson now 6 for 26 in the postseason. Lehman deals. And it's a squibber to the right of the mound. Second baseman Whitty has only one play. He'll shovel it underhand to the first baseman Costello. Sampson retired 4-3. DeStefano goes to second on the play, but now 2 down for Colin Marin-Petro. Hit into a forced play back in the first. Marin-Petro 1 for 5 in the tournament. Now 5 for 21 in the postseason. Tying run out at second, but 2 away. Wolverines had 2 men on the first, but Lehman worked out of it. Lehman's first pitch to Marin-Petro. Misses low for a ball, 1-0. DeStefano reaching on an unusual infield single. Just a jam job that bounced straight up in the air once it hit the ground, instead of bouncing, as you'd expect, to the shortstop. Lehman's 1-0. Marin-Petro takes that one out of the zone, 2-0.
Wind's definitely starting to pick up, completely clouded over. As you said, a chance for a couple of showers, but nothing long-term expected today.
When the game started, it was sunny, but it is not sunny now. DeStefano bouncing off the bag at second, the 2-0 to Marin-Petro. That misses 3-0. Wonder if perhaps Lehman being careful with Marin-Petro with first base open. Certainly a Josh Minnick on deck, all-time leader in runs batted in, but it would be a right-on-right matchup. We'll see how things play out here. The 3-0 from Lehman. It's a strike down the middle. Now 3-1 on Marin-Petro. Shortstop Stegman is about a step and a half to the left of the second base bag. Now he cuts in behind, but DeStefano back on the pickoff attempt.
Purple Raiders paying a lot of attention to DeStefano out of the second base bag.
3-1, skips in, ball 4, and the Wolverines have 2 men on now for Josh Minnick. Minnick singled back in the first. Minnick 1 for 2 in the tournament, but he's been on base 4 times. Minnick is officially 9 for 22 in the postseason. Lehman out of the set. First pitch misses a little low to Minnick. It's 1-0. Minnick, his 14-game hitting streak ended yesterday with that 0 for 1. Kind of a tough break. You get on base 3 times if your hitting streak ends, but that's how it goes. He started a new one today with that first inning single. This one's driven out to center. Fox going back. Bryson Fox towards the warning track will make the catch to end the inning. Minnick hit it well, but the speedy center fielder tracks it down, and for the second time in 3 innings, Grove City leaves a pair of men on base. Grove City, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Through 2.5 innings here in Alliance, Mount Union leads Grove City 1-0. We'll be back with more after this on your home for the NCAA Division III tournament.
My name is Bobby. I'm a veteran and lost my leg to a roadside bomb. My victory was going from a wheelchair to becoming a weightlifting champion.
I'm Sam. I'm a veteran
My victory was finding a career I can be proud of and supporting my family.
America's veterans are on their most important tour, the tour of their lives.
I'm a veteran. My victory was going from homeless to home.
At DAV, we're on a mission to help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
I'm a veteran, and my victory was finishing my education.
DAV offers veterans of all generations a lifetime of support for victories great and small.
My victory was proving that disability is not a limitation.
My victory was getting my service dog a new best friend.
We help more than 1 million veterans every year as they face and conquer their challenges.
My victory is being able to be there for my family.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Andrew Whitty will lead off for Mount Union. Alex Stegman, Chris Tesaurus to follow for the Purple Raiders, who have a 1-0 lead in this elimination game over Grove City. Day 2 of the NCAA tournament. Whitty, right-hand hitting second baseman. Takes strike one from Trishler. Whitty popped out to Grove City's second baseman, Luke Vitone, out in short right field back in the first. So Whitty now 0 for 3 with a couple of walks and 2 runs batted in the regional. 0-1, driven out to right. Minnick coming on and loses his cap but makes the catch for out number 1. Whitty hit it hard with its sinking liner, flagged down by the Wolverine right fielder.
Good anticipation, good read off the bat to get that first step, which is so critical on that low sinking line drive, and able to complete the catch and make the play.
So we've seen Fox make a couple of very nice catches for Mount Union out in center field today, and that time the Wolverine right fielder Minnick making the catch. First pitch to Stegman is low for a ball. Stegman, a single and a stolen base back in the first. Stegman 1 for 6 in the tournament. 1-0 is a strike at the top of the zone, 1-1.
You can see both pitchers adjusting to how they're attacking the hitters based on how the plate umpire is calling that high strike.
1-1, bunt shown by Stegman, and it's a strike. I don't know if it was on the swing or on the pitch. Either way, it's 1-2. A lot of times you'll see the softball players, the lefty batters, they run up for the box and count now 1-2. Trishler deals. Off-speed pitch is popped up behind the plate. DeStefano will make the catch. It's out number 2, and certainly Trishler had the batter off balance with that off-speed pitch.
Yeah, he seems to be really getting comfortable. He's retired 5 straight and seems to be in a good rhythm.
2 down now for Chris Tesaurus. He has the only run batted in today. Sacrifice fly to left in the first. He's 1 for 5 with 4 runs batted in the tournament. First pitch from Trishler is in there for a strike. Update from up the road at Case Western Reserve. Center leading North Central 5-1. Talk about 8:30 start, but for North Central, it's a 7:30 body clock game. 0-1, foul territory, third base side, and that will land in the Grove City bullpen, which is currently vacant. The count now 0-2. Oswego State now leading Bridgewater State 5-0. 0-2, swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. DeStefano will throw down to first to complete the put out 2-3, and that is the second strikeout of the day for Bryce Trishler. He's retired 6 in a row. Mount Union set down in order. Zeros across. We'll go to the fourth. Mark will take you through the middle innings when we come back. Mount Union leads Grove City 1-0. You're watching or listening to the NCAA Division III Championship Tournament.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
They played the nitty-gritty dirt band between innings, and the guy that's always nitty and gritty to bring you for the play-by-play, here's Mark Beans.
Thank you very much. We go to the top of the fourth inning. 5, 6, and 7 to do up for the Wolverines against Lehman, as both pitchers have kind of settled into a comfort zone here after some early action on the base pass. Meredith, shortstop, is 0 for 1. He flew out to right in his first plate appearance this morning. Still getting used to saying this morning. First pitch swinging, he drives that ball out to center field, and the center fielder loses his hat, but Fox is able to make the play in center for out number 1. So one pitch, one down for the second baseman, Luke Vitone, who struck out swinging back in the second inning in his lone trip to the box. 1-0 Mount Union here in the top of the fourth inning. Lehman's first pitch is on the outside corner to Vitone for strike 1. Middle infield back at the back of the cut of the turf. That pitch will miss up high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Third baseman behind the bag, just off the line. Lehman, long look in, winds the 1-1. What is a called strike on the outside corner, now 1-2. Caleb Durbin, the designated hitter, on deck for Grove City here in the top of the fourth. One, two. Swung on, lifted foul territory down the right field line. That'll get out of play. We'll do it again at 1-2. This, the first of 3 games scheduled today here at Mount Union. 1-2. Swung on and lifted on a bounce. Second baseman able to fire over, but not in time. Good hustle down the line by Vitone. He beats out the infield single, and the Wolverines have a runner on first with 1 out here on the top of the fourth.
It was not quite as pronounced as the DeStefano infield hit, but again, not a natural hop. The second baseman, Whitty, was there, and again, artificial turf, you expect a routine hop, and the ball just hit and kind of stayed there. And Vitone, who runs very well, able to get down the line, and the Wolverines get an infield hit, their second infield hit, and third hit overall.
Caleb Durbin stands in. He's 0 for 1, flew out to center field in his first plate appearance, takes the fastball for strike 1. Vitone inching his lead off the bag at first. Lehman ready, he'll break for second, pitch down low, the throw, the tag, and they got him. Strong throw by Tome to get Vitone, and there's 2 outs here in the top of the fourth.
It's a pretty good jump by Vitone, but an excellent throw by Tome. Gunned it down there, and the tag put on the shoulder by Stegman. And Vitone, first time he's been thrown out this year. It was 13 for 13, but Tome guns it down, and now 2 away in the fourth.
Caleb Durbin now down on the count at 0-2. Lehman rocks, fires, and that's on the inside corner for strike 3. And that will end the inning for the Wolverines. No runs. They did pick up 1 base hit, no errors, and nobody left. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Mount Union 1, Grove City 0 on the home for the Division III Baseball Championships.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Jared Lehman to lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Walked and was stranded in his first plate appearance. And he'll swing through an off-speed pitch for strike one. Trishler working in his fourth inning. Both teams with 3 hits apiece. Mount Union with the only run. That pitch in on the hands, popped back foul, and it's 0-2 on Jared Lehman, the pitcher slash designated hitter this morning.
You know, they call it now the Shohei Ohtani rule, but it's actually a rule that they had in college baseball for a long time. The pitcher, when he's done pitching, he can go in as a DH, stay in the game.
0-2, high and away, now 1-2.
It's the first time we've seen it so far in the tournament here. Probably won't be the last, though.
1-2. Way out in front, swung on and missed for strike 3, and Trishler's third strikeout of the morning. Brings up Daniel Tome, the catcher, who flew out to left in his lone appearance in the box. Impressive throw by him in the last half inning.
And he was, all OAC catcher as a freshman. This outstanding league to be honored all OAC, no matter what year you are, is notable. But the dude as a freshman says a lot about him. He's going to be already is a key piece of what Mount Union has done this year, but looking forward as well. He is that guy. He is that guy behind the plate.
First pitch rolled foul up the first baseline. The 0-1. Low and away. Now 1 ball and 1 strike.
Very nimble, athletic guy back there, too. Probably a guy you could put at second base or third base or something, too, when he's not catching and would do an above-average job.
1-1, chop foul, now 1-2. We kind of see the evolution of that position changing. It was the big, slow guy with the strong arm, but you even see it at the big league level, more athletic catchers now.
Yes, certainly. And Tome, and you look also with Grove City, Sam DiStefano's in that mold, too. We saw him beat out an infield single, a guy that, very nimble, kind of like a cat back there.
So 1-2 the count on Daniel Tome. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth for Mount Union. Trishler's 1-2. Big chopper. Pitcher will pick it up, try to underhand flip it, and not in time. And
it's going to be a base hit. That was unusual, just that chopper. Then Trishler grabbed it behind the mound, and the underhand toss. Again, Trishler at times this year has had difficulty throwing to bases. I'm not sure if he just thought he was closer, but either way, Tome, the great speed, it was going to be a tough play no matter what.
First pitch is a fastball that's outside for ball 1. Check the runner off at first base. Trishler's next pitch, off speed, called a strike. It's even up at 1-1. So 1-1 the count on Luke Ikes, the left fielder. Look at the runner at first, the 1-1. Hit on the ground, first baseman picks it up, fires the second. That was a low throw in the dirt, skipped by the infielder, and all the way down to third base is Daniel Tome.
Ickes hit it hard. It was a double play ball. Marin Petro's throw. Meredith just couldn't pick it. Instead of a double play, it is an error. Of course, a play that was not made in the first inning led to Mount Union's first run. Here, the infield hit, and then a double play ball, or at least cutting down the lead runner. Instead of perhaps being out of the inning, it's first and third, 1 down, and Mount Union a chance to add to the lead.
Johnny Costella. thrown out 1-3. Takes the first pitch.
And a lot of options, too. A lot of speed on the bases. Costello handles the bat well.
Next offering is away. Now 2 balls in, no strikes.
Important for Trishler to keep his composure. Had the infield hit, and then the play not made behind him, and now falling behind 2-0.
2-0 runner breaks for second. Pitch down low. Stefano will fake the throw, look back to third, and now the Purple Raiders have 2 in scoring position.
In the fourth, the Wolverines will keep the infield back, other than Marin Petra, who's even with the bag.
Pitch is on the corner for a called strike, and it's now 3-1.
If you're Grove City at this point, you had a couple plays not made, minimize the damage. If you give up one here, that's, you can live with that.
Trishler ready, the 3-1. That is going to be lined out into right field for a base hit. 1 run will score. They will stop the second runner at third, and Mount Union has doubled up their lead now 2-0 over the Wolverines.
Costello going the other way, a solid single to right. Good piece of hitting. If that's a ball he tries to pull, probably a 6-4-3 double play, but instead, good piece of hitting it hard the other way, and first and third again.
So brings up the center fielder Fox, struck out looking in his first plate appearance. Check the runner at first. Pitch is in the dirt, blocked nicely. And it's 1-0.
Again, another guy that handles the bat very well in the box, Fox. The good speed, lefty batter first and third, and good speed on the bases. Ickes at third, and the trail runner Costello at first.
Pitch is on the corner for a called strike as count levels up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Costello stealing the play. DeStefano faked the throw down to third, but again, 2 men in scoring position. Takes the conventional double play out of order as well.
Trishler ready with the 1-1. Checks the runner out at second. 1-1 outside and low. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 run home, 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Mount Union with a 2-0 lead over the Wolverines. 2-1, fouled straight back, had him out in front. And the count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Temperature stayed just about the same since first pitch. It's 68 degrees, but now completely clouded over. Look at second, the 2-2. That one in the dirt, skipped by for a moment, but the catcher DeStefano able to keep it in front of him as it slid outside, and runner decided to stay at third. The count now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Fox, the center fielder. Yeah. 3-2 is lifted out to center field. Center fielder will make the catch. Runner's going to tag, and Ickes will score from third, and Mount Union's put 2 runs on the board here in the bottom of the 4th inning as Fox gets the sacrifice fly RBI to center field.
Like we talked in the pregame yesterday, Mount Union, Catholic, and Rowan all getting key hits at times. Grove City didn't yesterday. Wolverines have left 5 on so far already. Mount Union, piecing it together. Base hit, advancing runners, sacrifice fly, etc. Second sac fly of the game for the Purple Raiders. They have a 3-0 lead.
Runner breaks for third, and he will slide in there safely. So Costello now down at third with the stolen base.
Actually, it'll be wild pitch. It was in the dirt, so I know you got blocked for a moment.
So 1-0 the count. 1-0 pitch. Inside and high. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Grove City bullpen remains quiet down the third base line. Trishler's next pitch hit on the ground, knocked down by the third baseman, Bevan. But the runner will reach first, and the run will score from third base, and it's 3 runs across here in the 4th for the Purple Raiders.
Viamonte hit it well towards the left side. Bevan knocked it down, but no chance for Meredith with as well as Viamonte runs, and Mount Union again pushing across that extra run. They get getting a couple and adding on. The infield hit, and now 4-0.
Runner breaks for second, pitch down low. The throw to second is going to kick out into center field, but good job to back it up. And it's a stolen base for Viamonte, his second of the day.
5th stolen base already for Mount Union here, and we're just in the 4th inning. But going on the off-speed pitch, picked a good pitch to go on, and another runner in scoring position.
Next pitch is outside, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes on Andrew Whitty, the second baseman, who's 0 for 2. Check of second. Now he'll look the runner back to second base. Peek at second. Trishler to the plate. That's a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. Now 2-1.
You look at this inning, all started rather innocently. The little number that Tome hit over the mound. Trishler tried to make a play, but didn't get a real good throw over to first.
2-1, and it's going to be lined into center field for a base hit. Runner turns the bag at third, and he will score sliding as Viamonte comes home from second. Whitty with the RBI single to center field.
Mount Union adding on, taking advantage of the situation. You have the double play ball that was turned instead of 1 out or 2 outs, no outs because of the throwing error. And the Purple Raiders, smelling blood on the water. They've been able to add on, and now a 5-0 lead.
It'll bring up shortstop Alex Stegman, the number 3 hitter. He's 1 for 2. Runner breaks for second to slide the tag, and they said he's out. Nice job to corral that throw, and the caught stealing is going to end the inning. But for the Purple Raiders, they plate 4 runs. They do it on 4 base hits. There was 1 error and nobody left. We've completed 4 full. It is now Mount Union 5 and Grove City 0. Listening to the home of the NCAA Division III championships.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Top of the 5th inning, and the Purple Raiders put 4 on the board in the bottom of the 4th inning and have now taken a 5-0 lead over the Grove City College Wolverines. It will be 8-9-1 due up for Grove City. Andrew Seast, Sam DeStefano, and Sam Bevan in the order for the Wolverines that need to respond here offensively.
Grove City certainly has had its chances. 2 on the first, 2 on the third, but getting nothing. Mount Union able to cash in, taking advantage of a Grove City error. A couple other plays last inning. It's Cease takes the ball. The sands in the hourglass are starting to trickle down on Grove City. So we're here in the 5th and down 5-0.
1-0 has him leaning back now. 2 balls and no strikes. It's just been getting that one big clutch hit that kind of opens things up and has everybody relax a little. 2-0, high and inside, now 3-0.
Grove City certainly been a very capable offensive team all season, but even in the PAC tournament, the offense, as Cease takes a strike, it was more so pitching that carried Grove City through the tournament. In the title game, Grove City winning 8-1, but only 6 hits. And here in the regional, not a lot of hits strung together over the course of an inning.
That's pop back foul, and it's going to drop out of play. And the count now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lots of foul territory, so that catcher, Tome, that knows this field well, gave it a long look. The 3-2, hit on the ground, and they're going to say that was caught off the shoe tops by Villamonte at third base for out number 1.
C smoked it down there, but a nice play by Villamonte, as you said, to the backhand, the shoe top grab. And out number 1, a loud first out in the 5th inning, but Villamonte flashing the leather down, as you said yesterday. There's a reason it's called the hot corner.
Brings up DeStefano, the catcher who singled in his first plate appearance. Takes a pitch off speed and outside for ball 1. Lehman rocks and fires. A pitch going to be driven out to left field. Left fielder Ick is coming on, and he will make the play. And with the wind, we've seen multiple outfielders having trouble keeping their hats on, but still making the play.
Yeah, and Ickes broke back for a moment. It was a big swing from DeStefano, but he got it off the end of the bat a little bit, and then the wind knocking it down as well. And Ickes doing a nice job to stay with it, and that's out number 2 in the 5th inning.
Brings up Sam Bevan, who has walked and struck out on his 2 plate appearances. Takes one away for ball 1.
Lehman really in a good rhythm on the mound. He's getting the ball, getting the sign, and going. In the first inning, and he was kind of, not that he was working slowly, but it felt just a touch disjointed. But now he's really gotten locked in. Of course, having a 5-0 lead will make a pitcher feel a little better out there too. But he's really done a nice job.
Lehman's going to line that pitch into center field for a 2-out single, and he continues to swing a hot bat here at Mount Union.
And Bevan 1 for 2 today, went 3 for 5 yesterday, so 4 for 7 in the regional, 14 for 27 in the postseason, and Wolverines with a 2-out base runner for Sampson.
Sampson at 0 for 2, flew out to right, bounced to second in his 2 plate appearances. Lehman works from right about the center of the pitching rubber. Long look in. First pitch, tried to check his swing, could not, and it's 0-1 on Nick Sampson. You see Lehman really slow it down when there's runners on. Long look over his shoulder at first. The 0-1. Up and away, now 1 ball and 1 strike. Bevan increasing his lead off the bag at first. Lehman gives him a look. And the 1-1. Swung through the off-speed pitch, now 1-2.
A lot of room on the left side. Again, Villamonte hugging the line, almost like a no-doubles defense. Shortstop Stegman, he is shaded towards the bag at second, so a lot of room on the left side.
Toss back over to first base. The next pitch by Lehman will be his 71st of the morning. Lehman again checks first. He'll come to the plate with the 1-2 hit on the ground between first and second, out into right field for a base hit. Bevan going to go all the way to third, and Grove City's got runners at the corners with 2 down here in the 5th inning.
More of a run and hit than a hit and run. You wouldn't necessarily put a hit and run on with 2 outs, but it's what it looked like. Sampson going the other way. Hole opened up with the second baseman Woody covering. Bevan on the move. He goes to third. Nick Sampson's first hit of the tournament. And a chance for the Wolverines to get on the board. One of the top run producers in the region, Colin Marin-Petro at the plate.
Marin-Petro hit into a fielder's choice and walked in his 2 plate appearances. First pitch to him has him way out in front with the off speed, and it's 0-1. Lehman's done a good job mixing speeds here this morning.
He's been very impressive getting the start today. His first start since April 27th, as we alluded to.
0-1. Fastball is a called strike, and Marin Petro quickly down to the count 0-2.
Yesterday, Mount Union, Zachary Breeden started, and Brady Hansen, who was a potential starter for today, pitched 2 innings in relief, but going to Lehman, he has pitched very, very well.
The 0-2. That one skips in the dirt, blocked by Tome. It's now 1-2.
I don't think Mount Union skipper Paul Hesse could have asked for more from Lehman making the start today. Again, a guy, he's made 7 starts. This is not, this is not some, just, shot in the dark type of thing, but he hasn't started in a few weeks, but he's come out and looked like a guy that's been pitching regularly on 4 or 5 days rest for the last month.
Runners at first and third for Grove City. The 1-2. That's a called strike 3, and that will end this 5th inning. Wolverines threatened but not able to score. No runs. They had a pair of base hits, no errors. They leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is Mount Union 5 and Grove City 0. You're listening to the home with the Division III NCAA championships.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Bottom of the 5th, 5-0 is the lead for Mount Union over Grove City. 3, 4, and 5. Alex Stegman to lead things off. First pitch, as he showed bunt, is a called strike, and it's 0-1. Stegman singled, stole a base back in the first, and then fouled out to the catcher in the third. The 0-1 swung on, driven out to right field. And that ball is going to carry up and out of the ballpark for Alex Stegman, the shortstop. A solo home run to lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Mount Union lead has grown to 6-0.
Stegman's 4th home run of the season, hit it out to right center where the fence comes in a little bit, fighting the wind. Wind tried to knock it down, but a solo homer for Stegman. The 2nd round tripper of the tournament for Mount Union. And here the celebration below us. And 6-0. And Trishler left the pitch up, and Stegman, he did what you're supposed to do to a mistake. He hit it out, and it's 6-0.
First pitch shot foul at the plate by Chris Tesaurus, the right fielder. Sacrifice fly RBI in the 1st inning. Struck out K2-3 back in the 3rd.
And activity now in the Grove City bullpen. Dash Lanzalotta, freshman from Nordonia High School, getting loose and not wasting time.
Fastball on the corner, now 0-2 on Tesaurus. The 0-2 took a little off, missed outside, now 1-2. Trishler looking in. 1-2, fisted back foul and out of play. We'll do it again at 1-2. Stegman's solo homer here in the bottom of the 5th inning has grown the Purple Raider lead to 6-0. Trishler's 1-2, and then is swung on, foul tipped into the glove for strike 3. Nice work by Trishler to come back after the home run and get the strikeout for the first out here in the inning. That'll be his fourth.
When you look at the scoreboard, it says 6-0, but Trishler has pitched. The way Trishler has pitched does not reflect what the scoreboard says. Grant, 6 runs are 6 runs. They all count, but there's 2 earned runs and the 4 strikeouts. For the most part, he's done his job.
Pitch going to be lifted foul down the right field line and out of play. And the count is 0-1.
4 strikeouts, only 1 walk.
The 0-1 is a ball, now 1-2. That is 76th pitch of the morning.
Even the run in the first inning is an earned run, but you could argue that it should be unearned.
1-1 to Lehman, missing inside, now 2-1.
From the standpoint that there was a foul ball, was not caught. There's no error because, again, fighting the wind and the sun and everything. But that, and it was Villamonte who got a base hit after that with the second life.
2-1. High and away, now 3-1.
But the scoreboard out in left field indicates R, not ER or UER, just says R. And Mount Union's put up 6. The Raiders looking to stay alive. Advance to the 3:30 game later today.
The 3-1 outside, that is ball 4. So the 1-out walk puts Lehman at first base, and Daniel Tome, the catcher, who's 1 for 2, with a single and a run scored. Trishler going to check the runner at first. Now he'll turn, lob toss over to first base. Action continuing in the Grove City bullpen down the third baseline. Next pitch inside, leans Tome back for ball 1. Checks the runner at first, the 1-0. That's a called strike off speed, and count now even up and 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 in on the hands, lifted out to center field, and that's going to fall in right center field for a base hit. Runner's going to go all the way to third, and the Purple Raiders have runners at the corners here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Good read by Lehman coming off of first. He had a very good, he was able to read it very well. Could see that neither Sampson nor Minnick would get to that one. Again, the wind knocking it down as well. Tome able to get just enough of it to parachute it in there, and Lehman goes first to third. Double play remains in order, but Ickes, left-hand batter, runs very well. Tough man to double up.
First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Ickes singled in his first plate appearance, reached on an error back in the 4th. Turn, lob toss over to first base.
Yeah, that was a potential double play ball that resulted in no outs and ultimately resulted in 4 unearned runs for Mount Union.
Trishler tosses to first base. Had the runner off the bag at third as they throw to the plate. So they will concede the steal by Tome, but keep the runner back at third base.
Heads up by Lehman. He came down far enough just to make Marin Petro hesitate for a moment, because if Marin Petro makes the throw to second, good chance they get Tome, but then Lehman could have walked home. But now second and third one out. That could not have worked out any better for Mount Union. And all because of the heads-up play by Lehman. And Grove City's now going to make a pitching change.
So Matt Royer comes to the mound. Wolverines are going to go to the bullpen for the first time this morning. And we will step aside for a break, let you know who the new pitcher is for Grove City. Right after this, you're listening to the home of the NCAA Division III Baseball Championships.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, tail-wagging, backyard-hanging, and, of course, companionship.
And what breed would you say Satchmo is?
I'd have to go with maybe a lavish terrier-hound chihuahua-looking kind of mix.
Tremendous dog.
I'd also like to point out Satchmo's coloring, a white, gray, brown, black brindle, simply marvelous.
You know, it's such a treat to watch a dog like this.
Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive. And now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance, so common with this group.
And finally, the loving face lick.
It's great how he just gets in there and, well, licks.
Fantastic. But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
It'll be Dash Lanzalotta coming out of the bullpen for Grove City, making his 15th appearance. We'll get you his numbers here in just a minute. First pitch hit on the ground past Marin Petro down the right field line, rolling into the corner. 2 runs are going to score. And Ickes is going to slide into second base with the double. So first pitch swinging against Lanzalotta. He drives home 2. And the Mount Union lead is now 8-0.
And that will close the book on Bryce Trishler. He goes 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits allowed, or 9 hits, 8 runs, 4 earned, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Now you have Trishler's, Lanzalotta's numbers for the season.
15th appearance, 4-4, a 5.01 earned run average, 55 innings, 56 hits. He has walked 30 and struck out 50.
Much better control second half of the season.
Checks Ickes at second base. Lanzalotta to the plate. Off speed on the outside corner for strike 1 to Johnny Costella, the first baseman.
Lanzalotta, first 18 1/3 innings this year, he walked 18. Last 37 innings, 12 walks.
Check of second. Checks again to the plate. Protection swing, fouls that back, and it's 0-2. Costella going to dig back in. Lanzalotta ahead in 0-2. The 0-2 went too far, and that is going to be strike 3. So Lanzalotta records his first strikeout. Now 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th.
Costello now 3 for 6 in the tournament. He's put together maybe a little bit under the radar. A very nice regional so far for Mount Union, but Lanzalotta able to pick up the strikeout.
Brings up Bryson Fox, the center fielder, who's 0 for 2. That pitch inside for ball 1. Ickes creeping down the line between second and third. That pitch chopped foul at the plate. Will level it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Lanzalotta steps off. Back on top of the mound. Works from the first base side of the rubber. Shortstop darting in behind the runner, who's got a big lead off the bag as that pitch misses away for a ball. Now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Which is a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. We're leveled up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Action again in the Grove City bullpen. 1 pitcher throwing, 1 starting to stretch. The 2-2. Inside had it been a little low.
It's David Gallagher, the left-hander, who pitched 2 innings yesterday. 2 spotless innings. He's getting loose. Kenny Lavrich also doing some preliminary work down the third base line on the Wolverine bullpen.
Check a second. The 3-2 chopped foul. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Having had a chance to see Mount Union yesterday and today, they make every at-bat difficult on a pitcher. And you see, Fox fighting off some tough pitches here. There are no easy outs in this lineup, and a guy like Fox, the number 9 batter, just a real headache for pitchers.
Again, the 3-2 big bouncer towards the shortstop side, up with it over to first base, and it's time for out number 3. So in the inning for the Purple Raiders, they played 3 runs. They do it on 3 base hits, no errors, and there was 1 man left. We're through 5 full. It is Mount Union 8 and Grove City 0. You're listening to the home of the NCAA Division III Championships.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Four, 5, and 6 to up for the Wolverines here in the top of the 6th inning. Wayman will continue to work for the Purple Raiders. He's thrown 78 pitches through the first 5 innings. First pitch to Minnick is a little high and inside for ball 1. Minnick singled in the first, flew out to center back in the 3rd. The 1-0. Pop foul, first base side out of play. We'll level it off at 1 ball and 1 strike. Minnick steps out, climbs back in the box. Lehman ready with the 1-1. Off speed and high, now 2-1. Lehman working quickly. Right back on the hill with the 2-1. That is lifted foul and out of play over the Grove City dugout. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lehman from the center of the mound with the 2-2. It's going to be ripped past the diving third baseman out into left field for a leadoff single. It'll be Minnick's 2nd hit of the day and a leadoff base hit here in the top of the 6th.
Number 27, Sam Meredith.
Minnick on base for the 5th time in 7 plate appearances in the tournament.
Brings up shortstop Sam Meredith, who's flown out to right and center in his 2 plate appearances.
certainly has not been a case of the Wolverines lacking traffic on the bases. It's just been lacking the big hit with runners on base, leaving 2 on in the first, third, and fifth innings today, left on 9 yesterday.
First pitch, fastball outside corner, strike one to Sam Meredith. 8-10-0 for the Purple Raiders, 0-6-1 for the Wolverines as we play here in the top of the sixth. The 0-1 in on the hands and fouled back to the screen. It's now 0-2.
Certainly have to credit Lehman with his job of pitching in spite of some guys on base. You know, to be able to make the pitch to get that out, whether it be you got the big strikeout last inning to end the threat, or just, you know, inducing soft contact.
The 0-2 down and away. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Minnick off the bag at first. Lehman's 1-2 is popped up foul, first base side. And that'll be caught in foul territory.
Costella, as Mark's view was blocked by the pillar here. Costella, a lot, as we've alluded to, a lot of foul territory here. And over on the first base side, Costella near the dugout making the catch, and Meredith is out number 1.
So out number 1 brings up Luke Fatone, the second baseman, 1 for 2 with a single back in the fourth. First pitch is away for ball 1. Like most pitchers do, we've seen Lehman kind of slow things down when he has some traffic on the base pass. Sun trying to fight its way through the clouds now. Off speed on the outside corner for a called strike. And it's 1-1. Lehman checks the wristband, now checks the runner at first base, and Minnick. 1-1. Popped up foul territory, first base side again. This one will fall harmlessly to the turf. Just have this large wall here down that line.
It's a great view for the entire field except right there. And there have been 2 balls hit there in the last handful of pitches. But Vatone's staying alive.
So 1-2 the count remains on second baseman Luke Fatone. Top of the 6th inning, first of 3 today, this afternoon from Mount Union. Lehman's 1-2. That's going to be ripped to right field for a base hit. And the Wolverines will play station to station and now have 2 on with 1 out.
Back-to-back hits for Luke Fatone. Of course, the first man in Grove City history to go over 200 hits in his career. He has 2 there. And again, as we saw, last half inning, when Tome had the solid single to right, if he tries to pull it, probably a 6-4-3 double play. And that was going to be a pinch hitter in the DH spot. Shane Cato is going to bat for Durbin.
Senior from Newcastle, played his high school ball at Shenango. First pitch to him, couldn't check his swing, and it's 0-1.
Shane Cato.
Checks the lead runner out at second, does Lehman. Gives him a second look to the plate with the 0-1. Off speed on the corner, and it's 0-2.
Cato, first team All-PAC is DH 2 years ago as a sophomore. He's battled some injuries the last year and a half, but pinch hitting here in the 6th.
Check Minnick out at second base. The 0-2 skipped in the dirt. No chance for either runner to advance as that was still kept in the home plate circle.
Vatone had a good read on it from first base. He was about a third of the way to second. Minnick couldn't see it, and he had not ventured far off the bag. Vatone did a good job of scrambling back to the bag. Of course, Costella playing well behind him.
So 1-2 the count on the pinch hitter Shane Cato. Here in the top of the 6th, that pitch going to be popped back foul and out of play. We'll do it again at 1 and 2. Cato, back foot on the back line of the box. One and two the count. Lehman checks second to the plate with the 1-2. Off speed, called strike 3 on the outside corner, and they are now 2 down. Sixth strikeout of the morning for Lehman.
5 of them looking.
Seems to have a little bit of like a late action on the fastball. First pitch lifted out towards the second baseman, who was able to reach back and pull it down. As Cease got a line out to second, and that will end the inning for the Wolverines. No runs. They had a pair of base hits. No errors. They leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is Mount Union 8 and Grove City 0. You're listening to the home of the NCAA Division III Baseball Championships.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
When the wolf?
Oh, a wolf. Ooh!
What about the tiny dog? Cat? Owl? Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale?
No, whale sound.
Do the giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Dash Lanzalata going through his warm-up tosses for Grove City. He'll work in his 2nd inning after coming on in relief back in the 5th inning. Had some sunshine momentarily, but that has once again gone away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Mount Union goes back to the top of the order here in the bottom of the 6th inning for Chris Viamonte, the 3rd baseman, who's got a pair of singles, a pair of steals, and a pair of runs scored. He's done what you want out of that leadoff spot.
He's done a great job down at third base as well.
First pitch is outside and low to him for ball 1.
2 hits yesterday, 2 for 5, 2 for 3 today. He's knocked in a couple of runs. He certainly is making a strong case for the all-tournament team.
Checks on a pitch that is up high, and the count now 2 balls and no strikes. From the belt, the 2-0. That is up and away for a ball. Now 3 balls and no strikes.
Viamonte, not a big guy, so small strike zone and great knowledge of the strike zone as well.
Rowan and Catholic, they are scheduled to be up next for a noon first pitch. Taking all the way, that's a called strike, and it's 3-1.
One score that would be of interest to the Mount Union supporters. Ohio Northern and Adrian, scoreless, just underway in Adrian, Michigan. Ohio Northern was the OAC tournament runner-up.
3-1. Fastball outside corner. The count now full at 3-2.
Mount Union hosted the OAC tournament as the regular season champs. The conference tournament champ Baldwin Wallace will play Salisbury at noon today. That's a winner's game down in Salisbury, Maryland.
3-2. Chopper up the third baseline. Bevan will set the feet, fire over to first base in time, and there's one away here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Bevan looking a little bit like Viamonte over at third. Made the play, patient, knew he had time, and Bevan showing off the strong arm to retire the speedy Viamonte.
So 1 down for Andrew Whitty, the second baseman, who's 1 for 3 on the morning. First pitch checks on a strike, and it's 0-1. You look up and down this lineup for Mount Union, and it's very athletic. They can do a lot of things in the box.
That's something that really stands out. That's a perfect word.
The 0-1. That pitch is going to be lined foul.
Sliced down on right field line. You mentioned it, certainly, very skilled, technically proficient in terms of swinging, fundamentals, all of those things, but also the athletic burst to be able to make plays and sometimes even maybe off balance, able to muscle one through or beat out a hit. It is a very fundamental team. You combine fundamentals and athleticism. That's why you're playing in mid-May and hosting an NCAA regional.
Outside now, 1-2. Showing the ability to hit for power, show some speed as well up and down the lineup. 1-2. Try to check on his swing, could not, and that is going to be strike 3 and out number 2.
Second strikeout for Dash Lanzalota. Chris Maurer is warming up in the Mount Union bullpen. So perhaps Lehman's day on the mound is done. He, of course, would presumably stay in the game as the DH.
Stegman 2 for 3, a home run and a single, also stole a base.
It would be a real story if he didn't stay in as the DH as well as he's swung the bat all season. But 6 solid innings, 6 shutout innings today for Lehman so far. Absolutely what the Purple Raiders needed.
A little outside. Now the count 2 balls and no strikes.
I would say with him too, a very mature outing in terms of, he had some base runners, guys on, but he never got rattled. Never gave up that hit that allowed whether it was early on for Grove City to get the lead or to chip away at Mount Union's lead. So hats off to Lehman for what he's done on the mound.
2-0 pitch misses. Now 3 balls and no strikes. Lanzalota from the belt, the 3-0. Swung on, lined out to right field. That pitch is going to get down, bounce off the wall. He's going to turn from second. He's going to head for third, try to take that extra base. And he rounded third rather big as the throw came in. And it's a 2-out triple for Alex Stegman, the shortstop.
Swinging 3-0, and he jumped all over that pitch, hit it out the right center. He was thinking 3 out of the block. Sampson, the center fielder, had trouble. He went to throw back to the infield. It slipped out of his hand for a moment. Either way, it's a triple. Stegman, he was thinking about making a break for home, but realizing that to source on deck, didn't want to perhaps run the Purple Raiders out of the inning.
Tesaurus 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Runner at third base, 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Foul back to the screen. Now 0-2 the count on Tesaurus. Climbs back in the box. Lanzalota checks the runner out at third. The 0-2. Checked on a pitch up high. Now 1-2. Lanzalota going to give a look to third. The 1-2 is up and away. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Stegman, trying to maybe just, if nothing else, in the peripheral vision of Lanzalota, maybe take away a little bit of focus from Tesaurus.
Missing inside and a little bit low, and the count now full at 3-2.
If you make a mistake with Tesaurus, as the reliever for Catholic Scholes did yesterday, they're putting runs on the board.
3-2 payoff. Foul back to the screen. We'll do it again at 3-2. Bottom of the 6th, first of 3 here today at Mount Union. The 3-2. Can lift it out to left field. That ball is going to hang up just a little bit. Now is going to fall in. And that is going to be Tesaurus with a double, as that was a tough read off the bat. Didn't sound like it was hit that far, but had good carry.
Tesaurus so strong, taking it the other way. It hung up there, and Cease went back to the fence and then came in, then went to his left, and it lands on the warning track for a double. Again, like you said, a ball, when he first hit it, it looked routine, but he is just such a strong young man, and hitting it the other way, power to all fields, and Stegman able to trot home. Mount Union adds to the lead.
Check second, comes to the plate. First pitch fastball, a called strike to the pitcher slash DH, Jared Lehman. Check second. Outside and low, and the count now even up, and 1 ball and 1 strike. Lanzalotta checks the wristband. Now looks over his shoulder at the runner at second. The 1-1 fastball pops the mitt, and it's now 1-2. And checks that runner at second. 1-2, swung through the pitch that went back to the screen. And Lehman's going to be safe at first. Tesaurus now down at third. So I'll put runners at the corners for catcher Daniel Tome, who was singled in his last 2 plate appearances and scored a pair of runs.
I know we touched on it yesterday, but there's an exceptionally large amount of room behind the backstop here at Mount Union, and the ball got away with the wild pitch, and a good hustle by Lehman to not only just be happy with getting to first base, which most guys, when you swing and miss at strike 3, you're just happy to get on, but running hard the whole way, gets the second. So gets himself in scoring position, takes away the force. Just a really smart, heady baseball play there.
First pitch to Tome. This is up high for ball 1. Lanzalotta from the belt. Runners at second and third. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. A fastball on the corner for a called strike, and we're even up at 1-1. Small lead off the bag at third. 1-1 is a called strike. It's now 1-2. Lanzalotta working from the first base side of the rubber. 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3, and that will end the inning. Purple Raiders, they add a 1 run. They do it on 2 base hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We're through 6 full innings. It is Mount Union 9 and Grove City 0. You're listening to the home of the NCAA Division III Baseball Championships.
Hey, is that a faucet running?
Nope, that's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest.
It is?
Yeah, forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. The water comes straight from the forest to us. In fact...
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
How do trees clean the air?
They soak up the dirty air on their leaves, branches, and trunks, which means clean air for us.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yep, but the forest does more than give us clean air and water. It gives us shade for hot days, birds to listen to, and trees to climb.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know how cool the forest could be. Hey, let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Okay, and we're back here. A little confusion on the pitching change, Mark. And it will be Christopher Maurer coming on. Is you with me, Mark?
My mic doesn't seem to be working.
Let's try that. Let's push. If we push the right button, that helps.
There we go. So we have a pitching change for Mount Union, and to take you the rest of the way, back to Ryan Briggs.
Thank you, Mark. So we had to get you turned on. We had to turn you on to bring me back in. So I was delaying my own triumphant return. But it is Christopher Maurer coming on for the 8th time this year. He's 2-0, ERA of 4.98. Has 2 saves, 21 and 2/3 innings. He struck out 23 and walked 9. 24 hits allowed for the right-hander. And he will face 9-1-2 in the Grove City order. Lehman, by the way, stays in the game as the designated hitter. He's still batting 5th. For those of you who are perhaps keeping score, DeStefano squares the bunt, pops it up behind the plate, and Tome will make the catch. Tome popping out of his crouch. 1 pitch, 1 out for the reliever Maurer, and Sam DeStefano now 1 for 3. There's a gentleman down behind the plate today, Mount Union fan, had his scorebook, and it was a very neat scorebook too, which I really appreciate.
I won't say my book is always neat, but at least I can read it, because I've always felt like, scoring is very unique to the individual.
Yes. Back to the top of the order for Sam Bevan. And Bevan takes strike 1. Bevan 1 for 2 today with a walk. Walked in the first, struck out looking in the third, singled in the 5th. Bevan now 4 for 7 in the tournament. Hits one out into short center field, and Andrew Whitty will make Bevan 4 for 8. Whitty, the second baseman, making the catch. And 2 away in the top of the 7th. The line for Jared Lehman, 6 innings, 7 hits, did not allow a run, 6 strikeouts and 2 walks, and he's in line for the win. For Mount Union, with looking like a probable game later today, do you use Maurer to use this one, or maybe a combination of guys to cover the last, now what will be 7 outs? We'll see what head coach Paul Hesse elects to do. Nick Sampson will stand in, 1 for 3 this afternoon, 1 for 7 in the tournament. He takes ball 1 high and tight from Maurer. Maurer, the right-hander, with that 3/4 delivery. Fouled off by Sampson. It's 1-1.
Seen a couple of different arm angles throughout the first 2 games we've seen in the tournament.
1-1, foul on the right field side. Now 1-2 on Grove City's Nick Sampson, 3-year starter in center field. '23 PAC Newcomer of the Year, 2nd team All PAC this year. The 1-2 low, 2-2 now on Sampson. Sampson also very gifted musically. He's a music and business major. 2-2, that's a sour note for him as he goes down looking, and a very tidy 7th inning for Maurer out of the bullpen. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. It's stretch time in Alliance, Ohio. The Mount Union Regional and the Purple Raiders lead Grove City 9-0. Back with more NCAA tournament action after this.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? When a tornado is tearing through town? Or a hurricane strikes? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. And it's not always as simple as using your cell phone. That's why now is the time to take action. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Dash Lanzalota back up on the rubber for Grove City, getting ready to start the bottom of the 7th. He'll face Luke Ickes, Johnny Costella, Bryson Fox, 7, 8, and 9 in the Mount Union order. Mount Union with a 9-0 lead as the 7th inning stretch concludes. Lanzalota came on in the 5th. He's pitched 1 2/3 innings. Gave up a run, albeit a tainted run. Ball hit to the outfield, hit well by Tesouris. That probably should have been caught. It was not. A run scored on the play. Ickes will stand in. He had a 2-run double in the 5th. He was the first man that Lanzalota faced. Ickes 2 for 3 with a run scored and those 2 runs batted in. Lanzalota's first pitch to the left-hand hitting left fielder is a strike, and it's 0-1. Ickes now 4 for 7 in the tournament. Tripled and singled with 2 runs scored yesterday against Catholic. 0-1 a bit high, 1-1 on Mount Union's number 11, Luke Ickes.
Now, that's one of the things you notice about their lineup. It has length. There's length and depth to the lineup 1 through 9.
Good mix of lefties and righties. The 1-1 high, 2-1, and they can all run. And of course, Mount Union, a great tradition in track and field. Probably a couple guys that could maybe put together a decent 4x1 relay in this Mount Union lineup. I wouldn't mind seeing them with a baton in their hands. This one bounced up the middle. Meredith diving stop behind the bag to his feet. Cannot get it out of the glove. And it will be an infield hit for Ickes. Would have been a very tough play for Meredith, especially with how fast Ickes is. Ickes on base for the 4th time in this one. He's 3 for 4. That'll bring up the first baseman, Johnny Costella. Costella, 1 for 2. Sacrifice in the 2nd. Singled and scored in the 4th. Also knocked in a run. Struck out against Lanzalota in the 5th. Costella now 3 for 7 in the tournament. Righty batter in the back of the box. Lanzalota set at the belt. And this one down the right field line, a minute on the run, and it will slice foul. Costella was hoping that that wind that was gusting earlier would have kept it fair, but it drifts foul, and it's a long first strike on the Mount Union first baseman.
Winds have kind of calmed down. Still cloudy, overcast, but not the gusty breeze we had earlier on.
Lanzalota throws over to first, and back with a head first dive is Ickes. Game 2 coming up at noon here on the NCAA Championships Pass will be Catholic and Rowan. 0-1 low, now 1-1. Kind of funny, a team from South Jersey and a team from Washington, D.C. coming to Northeast Ohio to play, but that's how it shakes out sometimes.
Tournament play, you never quite know where you're going to end up.
1-1 from Lanzalota. This one bounced and skips past Vatone into right center. Rounding second on the way to third is Ickes. And it'll be first and third for Mount Union. Costella hitting a ball hard the opposite way. First and third, nobody out for Bryson Fox.
That's another one of those cases with their speed, taking the advantage, going first to third on a single, trying to just advance that runner further 90 feet into scoring position.
Hitting the ball hard the other way, too. Again, if he tries to pull it, probably a double play. Instead, first and third. And first and third for Bryson Fox, who's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. He bunts and pops this one foul out of play. It'll be 0-1 on the number 9 batter in the Purple Raider lineup. Fox scored a couple of runs yesterday, had a bunt single in the 2nd inning, also a sacrifice. So he has a sac bunt and a sac fly in the tournament.
You know, people will say fundamentals are boring. Fundamentals are fundamentals for a reason. They help you win games.
Lanzalota out of the set. The 0-1, fouled off by Fox out of play, and it's 0-2. Mount Union has played airless defensively as well. 1 error for Grove City. Helped open the door in that 4-run 4th for Mount Union. A couple other plays that perhaps could have been made. 0-2, high 1-2 now on Fox. And Mount Union has taken advantage of every opportunity that has come along. Purple Raiders looking for their first ever NCAA tournament win. The 1-2 is sliced foul down the left field line past the Grove City bullpen where right-hander Kenny Lavrich is starting to warm up. Well, not warming up with a whole lot of alacrity yet.
Just getting going.
More like he's thawing out at this point. 1-2. Chopper near the bag. Vitone grabs it, steps on second for one, throw to first, double play. The run Ickes will score. Costello erased on a 4-3 double play. No RBI. Mount Union adds to the lead, but now 2 down.
Number 21, Chris Viamonte.
Luke Vitone, who had such a tremendous season defensively for the Wolverines at second base, they're starting the double play there. Back to the top of the order for Chris Viamonte, who's flashed the leather at third throughout this tournament. Also swung a pretty good bat. 2 hits and 2 runs scored in this one. Takes the first one low for a ball. Viamonte now 4 for 9 in the tournament. Scored twice, knocked in 2. Stolen a couple of bases. Lanzalotta's 1-0 is a strike at the belt, 1-1 on the Florida product. Lanzalotta, the freshman from Nordonia High School, Northfield. 1-1 low, 2-1. It's in the southern suburbs of Cleveland, the Knights. Macedonia and Northfield Heights, the Nordonia, the portmanteau. You like that word, Mark?
That's a good word choice.
2-1. And their first strike, now 2-2. Nobody on. Mount Union has added a run here. Raiders have scored in each of the last 4 innings. This one foul over the Mount Union dugout on the first base side.
We've seen a lot from Viamonte today, but I tell you, he really makes the pitcher work when he's in the box.
He's everything you want in a leadoff man. The count is 3-2. Lanzalotta pitching out of the stretch. The payoff pitch. High for ball 4. And Viamonte earns the walk. He's on base for the 3rd time in this one. We'll bring up Andrew Whitty. Whitty, 1 for 4. An RBI single in the 4th. A pop out, a line out, and a strikeout today. Lanzalotta's first pitch is high for a ball. And it is 1-0 on Whitty. Whitty 0 for 2 in yesterday's game. And a run scored, 2 runs batted in. Viamonte on the move, and this one chopped foul on the first base side. It's 1-1 on Whitty. Lanzalotta, 34 strikes, 21 balls since coming on. 4 strikeouts and a walk. We talked about how he has really cut down on the walks in the second half of the season. 1-1. Foul back towards us here in the press box. It's 1-2. Lanzalotta, he started the PAC tournament opener for Grove City against St. Vincent, went 7 innings, gave up 1 run. He earned the win. He did hit 4 men. So he was the injury to insult, if you will. He got the win and put some black and blue marks on the Bearcats. 1-2, bounced foul up the first base line.
Back to one of our favorite terms of being effectively wild.
Yes, not a guy that you want to dig in against. Whitty, right-hand hitting second baseman. Batting with Viamonte at first, held on by Colin Marin-Petro. Lanzalotta, the 1-2. Punched out the right minute coming on, and he'll make the head-high grab to end the inning. Mount Union picks up a run, 1 run. 2 hits, there were no errors, and 1 left. On to the 8th. Mount Union closing in on its first ever NCAA tournament win. Purple Raiders lead 10-0 on your home for the NCAA championship tournament.
your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Now batting first baseman number 26.
Grove City will have 3, 4, and 5 due here in the 8th inning. Colin Marin Petro, Josh Minnick, and Sam Meredith against Mount Union reliever Christopher Maurer. He came on and had a 1-2-3 7th inning. Marin Petro 0 for 2 with a walk in this one. Marin Petro now 1 for 6 in the tournament. And Maurer's first pitch misses. For ball one, Marin Petro, lefty batter in the back of the box. Infield playing him as you would expect to play against a left-hand pull hitter. 1-0 is high, 2-0. Stegman, the shortstop, is just a couple of steps on the shortstop side of the bag. Woody, the second baseman, way over in the hole. Viamonte well off the line at third. 2-0. Bounce towards second. Woody grabs it. Toss over to Costello at first for out number 1. Marin Petro now 0 for 3 in this one. One away for Josh Minnick. He has a pair of hits today. Singled in the first, flew out to center in the third, singled in the sixth. Minnick, 2 for 4 in the tournament. He's been on base in 5 of his 7 plate appearances. Swinging at the first pitch, fouls it straight back. It is 0-1.
It's not always about getting a hit, but getting on base, moving runners up, and he's done a great job hitting out of that 4 spot.
0-1, fouled straight back, now 0-2. Minnick this year became Grove City's all-time leader in runs batted in. One of the captains for the Wolverines this year, along with catcher Sam DiStefano, and then pitcher Evan Umland, was a 3-time All-PAC performer, but limited to one inning this year due to injury. 0-2, high and tight. Sends Minnick spinning out of the way. It certainly was a loss for the Wolverines, but the emergence of Lanzalot in the second half of the year. Bryce Trischler, who started today, helped mitigate that loss a little bit. 1-2, fouled off again by Minnick. Minnick, right-hand hitting right fielder. The 1-2 from Maurer. That one low, 2-2.
And Maurer's been very aggressive since coming into the game. He really is aggressive. He attacks the hitters.
2-2, and another foul ball by Minnick. And it stays 2-2 on Josh Minnick. Out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, Cumberland Valley High School. Maurer's 2-2. Skied to left. Ickes is there, has it measured. He'll make the two-handed grab for out number 2. 2 down for Sam Meredith. Meredith 0 for 3 today. Fly out to right in the first, lined out to center in the fourth, and then fouled out to the first baseman Costello in the sixth. Meredith now 1 for 7 in the tournament. Maurer's first pitch is high for a ball. Meredith, the 2025 President's Athletic Conference Newcomer of the Year. One of 3 guys on the Wolverine roster to have earned that award. We talked about Nick Sampson getting it 2 years ago. Sam Bevan earned it last year. The 1-0 is high. 2-0 now on Meredith. Low 3-0. I think one of the things, if you say, what's a common thread among all these teams? Obviously, they're all very good teams, but you look at the shortstop play. Stegman with from Mount Union, what he's done. Rowan with Marco Menino. Catholic with Dante Posey. And then, of course, Meredith for Grove City. It's hard to make a deep run at any level of baseball without top-flight shortstop play. 3-1. Down the middle for strike 3 and 2.
But that's the captain of the infield. And if you can get that like Grove City has this year from a freshman, you know the future is very bright.
Payoff pitch from Maurer. Fisted foul sends head coach Matt Royer twisting out of the way over in the third base box. And Christopher Maurer, is 3-2. Hit out to center. Bryson Fox is there. He says he has it, and he does. That's out number 3. 6 up, 6 down from Maurer out of the bullpen. Zeros across for the Wolverines. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Mount Union on top, 10-0 on your home for the NCAA Division III tournament.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Pitching change for Grove City. Kenny Lavrich, the junior from Cranberry High School in Venango County, about half hour northeast of Grove City. He will come on in relief, and he will face Alex Stegman, Chris DeSource, Jared Lehman, 3, 4, and 5 in the Mount Union order. Stegman, a double away from the cycle. Singled in the first, fouled out on the third, homered in the fifth, tripled, and scored in the sixth. The first pitch from Lavrich is low for a ball. Lavrich, who's done some starting and relieving this year. It's his 12th appearance overall, 4 starts, 3-1 record, ERA of 4.05, 1 save. His 1-0 is low, 2-0, 33 and 1/3 innings, 42 hits, 27 strikeouts, and 22 walks. Also 7 wild pitches this year. 2-0. Stegman fouled that one off and went down awkwardly. And that did not feel good. And Chris DeSource is going to come out and check on him. And now DeSource is ministering to him by poking him in the belly with the bat. I'm sure that will help the situation. Everybody having a laugh except Stegman.
He is definitely not having a laugh.
DeSource is smiling like a slit watermelon.
Somebody said something. It's got the whole dugout.
There's always a comedian. Shocking you get a dugout of 35 college-age guys that somebody would say something smart.
Never happens.
Stegman trying to walk it off. And as he gingerly walks up the first base line, it becomes maybe a little bit less humorous for the Mount Union folks. I think Stegman's probably going to stay in. He knows he's a double shy of the cycle. But came down the foul ball as he pulls up his right pant leg. You could see the mark where it got him. Probably heard on our crowd mic somebody yelling, "You need a double, you got to leg it out." So Stegman will get back in the batter's box. A lot of times you see guys get off the foot or the front of the leg, but that got him in the back of the leg. So Lavrich now back up on the rubber, working out of the high set. His 2-1 is high, 3-1. Of the youngster, it's the bat boy for Mount Union. He went running over behind the plate. Did a nice hook slide, got the ball and hustled back. 3-1 fouled off, now 3-2. Kenny Lavrich made 20 starts in the infield last year for Grove City before converting to pitching full-time this year. He's put together a nice junior campaign. He started the first of the 2 championship games last Saturday against Westminster. Pitched pretty well, took the loss. Payoff pitch, fouled up the first base line. Lavrich 3 wins and a save this year.
Those couple of swings by Stegman did not feel good. You see, when he lands on that leg that he hit with the foul ball.
Three-two. Half swing, Stegman goes down swinging, and he will hobble back to the dugout. I would be surprised if we see him out there in the 9th inning, considering that Mount Union likely to play again later today. He's one of the big guns, but we'll see what the Raiders elect to do. Stegman down on strikes. Kenny Lavrich picks up a strikeout. 1 down for Christosaurus. Doubled in his last at bat. He has 2 runs batted in, sac fly in the first, along with a couple of strikeouts. 5 RBIs through the first 2 games of the tournament for Tosaurus. He comes up empty on that one, swing and a miss for the Mount Union cleanup man. 3-run homer in yesterday's game, going 1 for 5. Lavrich is 0-1. Bounced on the right side. Luke Vitone with it. Second baseman throws over to first in time. And 2 away. That'll bring up pitcher turned at DH, Jared Lehman, who walked in the first, struck out in the 4th, walked and scored in the 5th, struck out and went all the way to second on a wild pitch last time. He's in line to get the win as well with 6 shutout innings. And actually, it will not be him. He's going to be lifted for a pinch hitter.
Now batting number 17, Joe Lenard.
It's going to be Joe Lenard to pinch hit. Senior out of Garfield Heights will pinch hit for Lehman in the DH spot. Swings at the first pitch, and it's fouled out of play. I mentioned Kenny Lavrich from Cranberry High School. You know what the nickname at Cranberry High School is, Mark?
I don't.
The Berries.
I was going to take a shot with that, but didn't want to come up wrong.
Yeah, the Cranberry Berries. A couple pretty good fruity nicknames in Northwest Pennsylvania. Cranberry, the Northeast High School, the Grape Pickers. It's way up on Lake Erie, the last exit before you get into New York State on I-90. When it's 10-0, you have to go a little deeper into the notebook. Pit the 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1 on Lenart. Lavrich deals. And that one's in there for a strike, the off-speed pitch. 1-2 on Lenart. He's hitting .316 this year, 6 for 19, a double and a triple. He's knocked in 5. 1-2 high, 2-2 on Lenart. Pinch hitting for Lehman in the DH spot. Grove City in the 9th will have Vitone, Cato, and Seast. 6, 7, and 8 due. 2-2. Misses low, and the count goes to 3-2. Lavrich, the payoff pitch. This one's fisted on the left side, and it's going to sneak through for a base hit. Lenart, a pinch hit single. And Mount Union has its 15th hit of the afternoon. Runner on with 2 down for another pinch hitter. This is going to be Logan Bell to pinch hit for Tome. So Bell will bat for Tome. As Paul Hesse able to get some reserve guys, a little bit of work, and rest the starters. At least an inning or 2, get them off their feet, because they'll be playing another one later today, barring something unforeseen. First pitch to Bell is high for a ball. Bell hitting .067 this year, 1 for 15. Does have a couple of runs batted in. 1-0 swing and a miss by Bell, 1-1. Leonardo at first. They tell us his nickname is Joe Dirt. Of course, here in this infield, you have to be Joe Rubber Pellets.
We have dug back all the way back to the end of that notebook.
Yeah, we're in the appendix now. The 1-1 fouled off. It's now 1-2 on Logan Bell.
And there's always that one guy in your baseball team that just absolutely loves getting their uniform as dirty as possible.
The 1-2 from Laverick, high 2-2. Of course, with the artificial turf, the turf infield here, you may see a few of the black stains on the pants or whatever, but guys don't get as dirty. The equipment managers love that. 2-2 from Laverick. Breaking ball, bounce left side. Bevan gloves it on his glove side, throws over to first in time. The pinch hitter Bell is retired, and that ends the inning. A scoreless inning of relief for Grove City's Kenny Laverick. Mount Union, no runs, a hit, no errors, and one left. On to the ninth. Mount Union, 3 outs away from its first NCAA tournament win. You're watching the 2025 NCAA Division III baseball tournament.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Changes for Mount Union. Gavin Stevens, who we saw as a pinch runner yesterday, he comes on to play shortstop for Stegman. Stevens is in the number 3 spot of the order, and Logan Bell, who pinch hit for Tome, will stay in the game and catch. Luke Vitone to lead off for Grove City against Christopher Maurer, who was looking to notch a 3-inning save. His first pitch to Vitone is a strike. Vitone 2 for 3 today. Struck out in the second, singled in the fourth, singled in the sixth. Vitone now 2 for 7 in the tournament. And he's 3 for 8. Grove City's all-time hits leader adds one more to that total. Lining a sharp single back through the box. Vitone with a leadoff hit. And if you're Grove City, hey, say, there's no clock. The other team has to get 27 outs. See if you can string something together.
You got to make them earn all 27 of them.
You'll bring up Shane Cato, who pinch hit in the 6th for Durbin in the DH spot. Cato now occupying that. Struck out in his first at bat. Facing the starter Lehman, and Maurer's first pitch is out of the zone for a ball. I'm sure Mount Union coach Paul Hesse would love to have Maurer get through this, not have to get anybody else up, have a relatively full cabinet of arms for the second game. Cato fouls this one off. And that second game for Mount Union would be the 3rd game of the day here. The noon game, Catholic and Rowan. The losing team from that one has to turn around and play the winner of this one.
And, they'll be happy to play anyone in that 3rd game, but after the way the game ended with Catholic yesterday, I'm sure they'd love to see them again.
Catholic winning that one yesterday, 11-10, a wild one. 1-1, Cato swing and a miss at a letter-high fastball, now 1-2 on Shane Cato. Cato did a little bit of pitching for the Wolverines as a freshman, had a shoulder injury that more or less restricted him to DHing. He's played some third base this year. Seeing the bulk of his at-bats in the DH spot. He's behind on the count, 1-2. The pitch from Maurer, high, 2-2. Vitone over at first. Was caught stealing earlier today. First caught stealing of the season. Vatone held on by Costello. Probably not going anywhere. 2-2 high, 3-2. Andrew Ceased swinging the bat in the on-deck circle. Viamonte, the third baseman, hugging the line. The new shortstop, Stevens, shaded towards the second base bag. Payoff pitch on the way to Cato. Swing and a miss. Cato down on strikes. One away for Andrew Cease, the left fielder. He's 0 for 3 today.
Left fielder number 24, Andrew Cease.
0 for 6 in the tournament. Maurer out of the high set. First one to Ceased is a breaking ball in for a strike. It's 0-1.
And everybody up on that top step of the dugout for Grove City, trying to get something going here in the ninth.
0-1 popped up along the first baseline. Costella coming in and now into fair territory. Makes the backhand grab, fighting the wind. It looked routine to begin with. It turned out to be anything but routine, but a nice job by Costella to hang with it and record the out. Mount Union 1 out away from moving on. It'll be Sam DeStefano to stand in for the Wolverines. DeStefano singled in the third, flew out to left in the fifth, fouled out in the seventh. Maurer, first pitch to DeStefano is a strike at the knees, 0-1. Vatone held on at first by Costello. Modest lead for Vatone. The 0-1. Swing and a miss by DeStefano. Tied up by that one. Count goes to 0-2. Maurer closing in on his third save of the season. It would be the 13th for the team. 0-2 misses away. 6 different men have a save this year for Mount Union. Maurer getting ready to deliver the 1-2 to DeStefano. Here comes fouled off. DeStefano hanging tough. The second game scheduled to start at noon, and that's likely to be the case, as this one, we're not quite at 11 o'clock here in the Eastern time zone. So it would not start any earlier than at 12 o'clock. We'll be able to catch the action of the noon and 3:30 games here at NCAA Championships Pass. Maurer's 1-2. DeStefano fouls it off again. And it stays 1-2. Maurer, the righty, gets the sign. This one's bounced on the left side. Viamonte, the third baseman, charging, gloving, throwing across the diamond in time. And that will do it. Mount Union earns its first ever NCAA tournament win. The host Purple Raiders stay alive with a 10-0 win. Grove City in the ninth, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. Mount Union with the win. We'll come back with the totals and wrap it up here on your home for the NCAA Division III tournament.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
We are back here at Rayfield Rogers Field. Mount Union defeats Grove City 10-0 in this NCAA tournament elimination game. Mount Union staying alive. Purple Raiders will play at 3:30. The totals in this one for Mount Union, the Raiders, 10 runs, 15 hits, no errors, and Mount Union left on 8 men. For Grove City, no runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 9 runners left. The winning pitcher is Jared Lehman. He goes to 4-1. The loss, Bryce Trischler. He is 6-3, and a 3-inning save for Christopher Maurer. So he pitched 3 scoreless innings. Time of the game, 2 hours and 28 minutes. Mount Union gets the victory. That is win number 28 for the Raiders. Grove City will conclude the season 31-13. The 31 wins, a single season record, but it is Mount Union moving on. And Mark Means, Mount Union, we saw them yesterday, see them today. There's a reason this team won the OAC's regular season title.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good team. We saw all facets on display today. Starting on the mound with Lehman and then Maurer pitching, the defense, the lineup, the athleticism. Mount Union is going to be a tough out for whomever has to play them at 3:30 later today and then perhaps tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you talk about being strong in all phases of the game. The lineup has depth to it. They have speed up and down the lineup. They flash the leather defensively, and they've shown to have very good pitching. And that is, as you said, going to be a tough out for whoever they have to face in the final game here this afternoon.
Mount Union scored 1 in the first, 4 unearned runs in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and 1 in the seventh to put away this one. Alex Stegman, homer, triple, single today to lead the 15-hit attack. Also, Luke Ickes doubled in 2 singles. He had 3 hits today. Johnny Costella, a couple of hits. Daniel Tome, 2 hits for the Purple Raiders. Chris Thesaurus doubled in. He doubled and knocked in a couple of runs. Chris Villamonte singled twice, scored twice, and walked. On the Grove City side, Luke Vitone finishes up with a 3-for-4 outing. Josh Minnick, 2 for 4. And it is Mount Union moving on with the victory, final of 10-0. So, Mark, we are wrapping up this broadcast. For us, we generally do a lot with Grove City. Another fun year working with you. Just a couple months, we'll be getting together in football season. But this was a lot of fun. We got to experience this and look forward to doing it again down the road. And as the song goes, see you in September.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to football season already. We've got that road trip to start the year to head to Cortland before we see this Mount Union football team, for the first time in a while at home in week 2.
And that'll be a lot of fun and coming up. And it'll be a lot of fun here the rest of the weekend here for the folks at Mount Union. This Mount Union Regional. Coming up at noon on NCAA Championships Pass will be the second game, Catholic and Rowan, and then later today, 3:30. Championship action starts tomorrow at 11 a.m. For Mark Means, this is Ryan Briggs saying so long from Alliance, Ohio. Mount Union moving on, a 10-0 victory, and you watched it here on your home for the NCAA Division III Championship Tournament.